Looks like I got some cabbage, or I think that's Chinese cabbage growing there. Some more of it. Got just volunteer. Well, there was some over here and I chopped them up. But anyway, this is my candy roaster. And there's that one. I can see a candy roaster right there. There's one starting to grow. I'm not for sure what this is. I think this is the, I don't know, it might be honey boat. Honey boat, squash. Yeah, there it is. That's a little candy roaster, a baby. It's young. Okay, this morning I want to go check and see if I've got any cucumbers, any more cucumbers or beans. I picked quite a few last night, which was the half runners, I believe. And the bees, our honeybees, are all over them. So tickled. I can just hear bees buzzing everywhere. They're just everywhere. I don't know if you can hear that besides the katydids but in the background. There's one going down in a hole. That's our honeybees, which I can't wait to get the honey from. I mean, one of these days we're going to get it. I'm really needing some. Looks like a little sweat bee and my honeybee. One of my many honeybees. But yeah, they're everywhere. But I want to come out here and I just checked these last night, so I don't think I'm going to have any cucumbers, unless they just grew overnight. Sometimes they do grow overnight. But I've got quite a few up at the house. I'm going to pickle some more. I made some, not for last, I found a bunch, and I made the fermenting, the salt in the distilled water. I'm doing that. I've done 2 quarts of that already, and they're already ready, and they are delicious. They're so good. Now, some of these cucumbers, I have some giant ones. I'm leaving them on the vine, like that one right there. It's gonna stay right there because I want to save the seed from it. So the way you save seed is just leave a few on the vine, let them turn yellow, like solid yellow, and it's like the fall, I guess. You wait till like fall, and that is when you can, go ahead and harvest it and get the seeds. I've got some more up here, and I thought, well, one time I come out here and there were some so big, and I thought, well, okay, those are the ones I'm gonna leave on the vine. But I think there was one up here somewhere. Yeah, right here he is. That one's kind of up against the fence. So that one stays there. I mean, not that I don't have cucumber seed already. I've got lots of cucumber seed that I harvested last year. So, and here's all my green beans. Now, I picked quite a few yesterday evening. Probably a half of a gallon bucket. Maybe, well, no, it was probably about a gallon. And I got them from the half runners over here. So I've got like these 2 rows here. The first row here is got at the beginning is they're all growing pretty good, except for the ones at the end aren't doing very good. But these right up here, like this first little row here next to my cabbage, which I don't know if that's going to make it or not. This is the first time I've done cabbage like in actual rows. This one looks like it might do good. I'm hoping. But this first row of beans right there, that's coming from the second row. But this first row of beans down there, these are called asparagus beans. And they're really weird looking. I've never had anything like this, grown anything like this before. And the beans are like a foot long. They're skinny. Here is some right here. I don't know if they're ready. Look at that. How long that is. Now that's a long bean, but it's skinny. You know, it's long and skinny, and there's my hand, so that's pretty long. This one right here is, this is about 18 inches long, this one right here. And then here is another one. Now this looks like it's more ripe. It's about that's about 12 inches right there. So, yeah, these are pretty long. Good. Now these next to the asparagus, well, on down in the middle part of that row is called Jack's Magic Beans. And they're kind of a darker color green bean, and they're kind of shiny. And I'm going to try to cook a little bit of those today, see what they taste like. And then at the end was some Blue Lake, and they didn't hardly come up at all. I don't know why. And then now this next line, this next row here, where this stick is these are the greasy grits. And a lot of these seeds I ordered from, these all through here I ordered from, it's called Baker Seed Company. It's heirloom seeds, and I just love them. I've ordered so many seeds from them. But there's a bunch more. These are called greasy grits. And I picked some last week, and I cooked them, and they were like the best beans I have ever ate. I'm not exaggerating. But here's one of them right here. It looks like it's ready. But it's got, let me get it out here in the sun. Yeah, right there. That's a good picture of it. It's got like imprints. You can see the imprint of each bean inside the bean pod. And those, a lot of them come out whenever you're cooking them. And so when you get your pot of beans all cooked up, of course I put lard in it from my homemade lard that I made like last year. But once you get that all cooked, then you get your serving of beans out, and there it has a lot of little beans in it, and they're like dark brown. The beans inside of these, they come out when you cook them, and they are so out of this world good. They're just delicious. So I'm looking forward to, I'm hoping I'll get a whole lot of these, so I'd like to kind of can them if I can get enough. And then the second part of this row is supposed to be Kentucky Wonder. And those are doing pretty good. They're down there. They're the second half. I kind of wish I'd have done them one whole row of each kind now, because they're kind of blended in with the other ones, but at least I can tell them apart. I know which one's the greasy grits. Like it's now, these are called the Cherokee. They have a little purple blooms. Like there's a little purple bloom right there. Isn't that beautiful? Just a pretty little purple bloom. It's just so pretty. And the beans look like they got like purple strings. Here's one that's ripe. And now I cooked these too. I picked some of these the other day. And I think they were good. I thought they were really good too, the Cherokee. But I think the other is better. The greasy grits are better. And I asked my grandson, and I asked him, I said, you try each one, because I fixed both kinds that day in 2 different pots. And I said, now, which ones do you like better? So I put a serving of these on one side of the bowl and a serving of these on the other side of his bowl. And I made some hoe cakes too, cornbread hoe cakes. And he said, definitely the greasy grits. I said, okay. So I'm gonna make sure and plant plenty of those next year. And then anyway, these are my Cherokee. I done those. I've got more that's coming ready. I got to watch how I walk through here, because my foot's still, as you can see, I'm still wearing the boot. And my foot was a little bit swollen last night. I guess I'm doing more stuff. I'm able to do more. And really need to take it easy and quit trying to do so much more just because my foot's almost healed. But, and here's a bunch more of those Cherokee, yeah. And then now, the end of this row, little bitty short, those are called the red Indian bean. And I don't know what happened there. I've got more. I'm gonna plant some more probably next week in a different part of the garden. We've got a whole strip like right here that when I got down to my foot, all this was left untouched. I didn't get to do this, and I barely got to do that right there because with help. And I just sat on a stool and planted all those 3 rows of beans right there. And then the corn and beans in the back there, my daughter and my grandkids helped me with those, put the seeds in. So that was a huge help. So anyway, that's the ones I ordered from Baker Seed Company. Now these are just some seeds that I saved from my half runners last year, which they are delicious too. Both of these rows are half runners. And they're doing really good. Doing really good. But I don't think I've got any beans ready still yet. Yeah, there's none ready yet, but they're getting there. They're really vining up these poles really good. But I've got some, now this corn here, I ordered it from Baker Seed, and it's called miniature corn. And I can see why it's called miniature corn, because it's short. But the corn that grows on these are only like 6 inches long at maturity. 6 inches. That's gonna be interesting. But it's probably about 3 feet tall compared to this corn here, which is, I could think, Silver Queen. Now this is taller. This is like twice as tall. This row of corn is, but these are a row of beans. Now these are the ones I said earlier in the video that my daughter and my grandchildren helped me plant. They did these. I just sat here at the end here on a stool, kind of supervised. But this row of green beans here is half and half. The first half is called, I got these from Baker Seed Company too. This first half is called 1,500-year-old cave beans. They're beans that was found in a cave and they were supposedly 1,500 years old. And now these down here are called these are the rattlesnake beans. I've heard these are really good too. I'm so anxious to pick some of these beans, but they're not ready yet either. I think they might be getting a little bit of blooms on them. No, I thought it's just leaves. Just new leaves and things, but they're not, it's still a little early for these anyway, because I planted them, now wait a minute, there's a bloom right there. There is a bloom. And it's kind of a purpley looking bloom too. That's pretty. So the rattlesnake beans has a purpley bloom too. Well, then again, I don't know, there's one that looks like it's white. And this second half is all rattlesnake beans, but at least I'm getting some blooms. Probably in 2 or 3 days, it'll be covered in blooms, hopefully. And then over here is on the other side is all my squashes and zucchinis, and got some sunflowers mixed in there. But down here is what I'm looking forward to, is these candy roasters. This is a new thing that I have never heard of before, and I'm looking so forward to trying these. Let me find one. But that's my candy roaster. It's about big as a little bit longer than my finger. And then I've got the honey boat. Is right in here. There's another candy roaster right there. Right below that flower. There's another one. So these are the ones with the actual fruit on it. Is the female, and then the ones that no fruit on it is the male. I just learned all this not too long ago. So these are the males right there, and this, I guess, is a male. So hopefully, if you all didn't know that, then you all just learned something too. I thought it was so interesting to learn that I just didn't know that. I kind of feel silly. I thought, well, I should have known that. But, I mean, there's things we just don't know, and just little things that we think we should have learned a long time ago, and then we didn't, you know? I didn't. I didn't know about the male and female. I just never thought about it. I just thought, well, why ain't these turning into fruit? Whatever you're trying to grow, why is it not turning into that? You know. So anyway, it's exciting. I love gardening, and I'm just like sharing it with others. And this is a squash I've got, and zucchini. Actually, there's one that's ready. I'll go and grab that one. I'm not for sure on this one. And this one, there's one right here, and it's huge. So I'm just gonna leave it and save it for seed. But this one is a lighter colored zucchini. And I'm gonna go ahead and break it off, but that's amazing. It's just, I don't know what it is. It's from a pack of seeds it said a summer squash on it. And it's zucchini. It's just a lighter colored zucchini, I guess. It's a different type. So I fried one. I had a longer one like this that I harvested the other day, and I cooked it last night. I just fried it. I fried it in just some cornmeal and salt and pepper, and it was delicious. So hopefully I'll be getting some of these green beans pretty soon. I'm just looking so forward to these right here. So forward. And the rattlesnake, I don't know. I'm just looking forward to them all. But these 3 rows here are kind of a repeat of those over there, which is those over there is like the Greasy Grits, Kentucky Wonder, and except for the rattlesnake and the that 1500 cave bean, 1500-year-old cave bean. Those ain't over there. They're just in a row by themselves right here. But these 2 right here, 3, are like half rows of this and half row of that. So this is like, this also has the cave in it too, the cave bean, and then the rattlesnake bean, and then the Greasy Grit, the rattlesnake, and the other 2, which is Kentucky Wonder and the Cherokee. And then now I've got that Indian, it's called Red Indian. Those, they didn't do too good on the other end of this row over here. So I don't know, we'll see. I just hope it does good here. Okay, so I went back in and got my seeds together because I really wanted to show you all the 6 different beans that I planted in these 3 rows here. I used a stool to sit down and plant these 3 rows because my foot. Okay, so this first row, I even brought here's my list, and I've got it all written on right here. I've got it all written on that. But the first, let me check something real quick. So this first row has got 2 different beans in it. So the first one are these rattlesnake beans. And then the second part of the row is these Hidatsa Red Indian. That's the one I was talking about that I had over there on the other row there. And it wasn't doing too good. But now the ones on this end of the second end of this first row, Hidatsa, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right or not, but anyway, that's it. Hidatsa Red Indian. So I guess it's going to have red beans inside of it. I'm just anxious. I'm excited. I can't wait to pick these beans and eat them, try them out. The rattlesnake, I've noticed it's got little marks all over the beans. The little bitty, looks like a little burgundy color. And that's the ones I said that had the pink blooms. No, that's that other row down there that I have a little bit more of these planted on the other row at the end there. And sure enough, they're pink blooms, but they're pretty long, and they got the little purple stripes on them. Little purple strips or something, spots. And now the second row, I've got my beans sitting in front because I've got some left. I've got some of these beans seeds. I didn't plant them all. Okay, now here is our favorite so far, greasy grits. These are this row right here, this row right there. The first part of this row is greasy grits. And then the second part of this row it's called, on here it says Old Homestead, but it is actually Kentucky Wonder. Let me see, it says it on here somewhere. Yeah, it says right there, it says Kentucky Wonder in parentheses. Homestead heirloom for 150 years, it says. Very early for a pole type. Large tender pods and great flavor. So yeah, that's where I got it, Kentucky Wonder. And so that's the second part of that. Those are the really long beans. And then now lastly, my third row that I planted 2 kinds of beans in. The first kind is that cave bean. And here it is. It says 1,500-year-old cave. And they are really amazing looking. They're like part white and part like I don't know, they're part white and part crimson or whatever that color is. And in the back of it, it just says ancient southwestern bean variety, viable seed originally recovered from an archaeological site, productive and vigorous. That is going to be exciting. I can't wait to see these beans. So they were recovered from an archaeological site in ancient southwestern bean variety. So I guess it would be Southwest, maybe Arizona, New Mexico. I don't know. But I'm just so tickled with them. They're really pretty too. I can't wait to get some. And they look like they're doing really good. They're vining up the pose, and they're really healthy looking. And then here's the second half is that Cherokee bean that I was speaking of earlier. It's actually called Cherokee Trail of Tears. And it is, the beans in it are black. But I guess the ones I picked and cooked the other day wasn't completely ripe. I don't know, because I don't remember seeing a black bean in them. But it does say it's a historic heirloom of the Cherokee, makes vigorous vines, good for snaps or as dry beans. So these, I liked them pretty good. So I can't wait to I'm gonna wait until they get really mature before I pick them next time. But I'm looking forward to all my beans. And I'm hoping I've got some more cabbage right here. I guess next year I'm going to do more cabbage because I love to make the homemade sauerkraut. It is just it's so healthy too. It's just really good for you. And I made some last year, but I bought the 2 heads of cabbage from an organic place out not far from where I live. And he has a farm. This man has a farm. And he grows all kinds of things. They're organic, and he grows a lot of cabbage too. So I got 2 heads out there and maybe some kraut, and it was the best kraut. It tastes a lot different than the kraut you get at the store. There's such a huge difference. And it looks like that one may turn out good. I'm hoping so. And looks like that one may do good too.